guys, this is Grace and welcome to process video number 55 for me. This is going to be my fourth layout with my June homemade kit called Belle, and this is based off of a sketch from Stick It Down. I just want to let you know that I was feeling pretty good and I was doing the voiceover, and then all of a sudden I realized, so I was at the very end, and then I realized I didn't hit the button to record it. So I hope the second time would be as good as the first time. So let's get it on with the layout. I'm starting off with a cardstock that's about, it's kind of a cream color base, and then those geotags, black geotags accent will be my pattern paper background, and that's from Studio Calico. The sketch that I'm using has a lot of white space. The pictures are designed to be put on the bottom left, and then there's just a little bit accent on the top right, and so I decided to use kind of a, not a bold, but has a very prominent pattern for the back, so it's not kind of too boring. I mean, I totally respect all those people that do a lot of those kind of clustered effect and then has this big white space around them. I'm just not that kind of person. I don't know. I've tried them before, but my eye just wants a lot of colors and patterns. So going back to the layout, that blue kind of turquoise paper as well as that red dot paper, they're from Basic Gray, and then this stripe paper is from GCD Studios. And I initially thought that I would use that big block of stripe paper, but then I thought, well, it's gonna go in the back, so might as well just cut a little piece of them and then use just a strip of them to go in the back of them, in the back of the other layered papers, and so that I can use some of the other papers for a different layout. I Although I did gather up a lot of products for this kit that I'm still planning on working with in July for my other layouts, I still want to have a lot more choices, so that's why I cut that up. And I'm just going through all of my cut apart sheets and my kind of pocket page papers and seeing which one can go well with this layout, and I decided to go with that flower and then maybe this speech bubble, but I'm going to eventually cut out that speech bubble because it's just making the elements kind of spread around the page more than I wanted it to, because I still wanted to have a little bit of white space in my layout. And here are just labels, and I'm also going to be pulling out some circle tags, and they are from Ellie Studios, and they have kind of a summer theme, so it worked out really well with my travel themed pages that I had pulled out for this month. And I gotta say, I was very motivated to work on a bunch of layouts in the month of June, but as you can see, this is now the last Monday of the month, and I've only done, this is my fourth or my fifth, I think it's only my fourth, so I totally lost on my motivation. I just gotten so busy, and I'm also planning a trip and all that stuff, but um, anyway, so my whole plan of getting a bunch done didn't happen this month, but I do hope that because my kit is pretty massive, that I can still get a lot done in July. Now going back to the layout, I'm just inking the edges with my cat's eye ink pad. I think it's like dark brown, and I don't know the specific name of the ink pad, but I'm just going to be adhering them and starting committing to the page. A little bit about the picture. So the title is Home Away from Home, and the reason being was because in 2002 we went to Carlsbad Cavern, and we were on a road trip, and we figured, you know, we'd like to spend the money on fun things instead of getting a hotel or getting a campsite. And also we didn't know where we were going to be were we going to end up when we were done watching the bat show in Carlsbad Cavern, which was pretty cool. But that year it wasn't as awesome as I've seen him before, like in videos of posted on internet or on TV, because that area was pretty dry during 2012, that there wasn't a lot of bats, so we didn't see the massive um, amount of bats coming out of the cave that night. Anyways, after the show, we just kind of drove, we went back to on the main road, and then we kind of veered towards east, I think, and just kind of looked around for a plot of land that we can just park our car. And we found this one spot. As you can see in the picture, it's kind of deserted with just this water tank on the back. And yeah, we just went there. My husband is a pretty outdoorsy type of guy. He loves adventure and camping and all that stuff, and so this is how we rough it. We go and we sleep in our car, basically in our big truck, and that's kind of our camper. And yeah, and that's what we did. We just slept there, and I feel pretty safe with my husband. He is pretty good at keeping us safe and protected. And um so that was our home away from home. And I'm just using up some of my thickers. I found this great idea from somebody, I can't remember who it was, but where you gather up all of your thickers and then just kind of find words that would work with whatever is left, the letters that's left in your pack. And that's what I did one night. And these are some of those words. And as you can see, they are from 3 different packs, but I picked the green so that it'll match the green flower that I'm cutting out right now. And then the home, I just kept it the same, so that there's kind of play on words like home repetition type thing on my title. I'm not very good at making titles. I actually suck at making titles, but this is kind of my attempt at veering out of my comfort zone. So I just hand cut that flower, and then I'm going to dress it up a little bit with a brad. And I chose that kind of red orange one so it will match the red dot paper on the background. And I'm also going to be using a little label tag that I'm going to put on the top right of the page, that has that kind of tone to the orange red, just so I'll have a visual triangle in my layout. And then I decided to adhere that flower with some foam adhesive, so I can curl the edges of the flower to make it a little bit more dimensional. And then these are some tags from SEI. The little what do you call that? Strings. The strings that go on top of the tags were a little too long for me, and so I just tied the ends of it shorter and then snipped the leftovers. And I got that from a pack that had some sequins, which I will be using a little later, and then some metal rings that I just set aside so that I can use it for a different layout. So that tag on the bottom, I will dress that up with some rub-ons and some heart stickers, and I don't think it will be added in the video. I think my video stopped before I added the stickers, but you will see in the close-up pictures of how that turned out. So I'm just dressing up now the layout. The tag, the kind of library tag that has the memories on there, that's where I'm going to be slipping my handwritten journaling. And I'm just going to write basically what I just told you, that this is where we slept one night, and we love the adventures that we have as a family, and we love going on road trips to admire Heavenly Father's nature and the earth that we live in, and how we have fun. So I'm going to leave the top one just like that. I think the 3 elements on top is good enough, pleasing enough for the eye. And then I'm going to be working on the sequins, and I actually used up all of the sequins from this pack on this layout, which makes me really happy. I know some people, they're like, what, it makes you happy using up all your stuff? And my answer is yes, it does, because Over the years, I've accumulated a lot of scrapbook supplies, and I feel really good when I use them up. I really do. So having to use them, even if I've used them all on one layout, I'm okay with that. I don't know about you, but when I was beginning in my scrapbooking, which was, I don't know, 10 years ago, actually almost 12 years ago, I would save a lot of my stuff because I wanted to make sure that it goes a long way because you spend all this money. But because I have been hoarding them now after 11 years, I just feel like, you know what? They need to be used or they're going to be thrown in the trash because there's really no purpose in me keeping all this stuff when I'm not using them. So yes, it does make me happy when I use up my stuff. And I throw away a package of like empty things. So going back to the layout, here I am. I'm dressing up that tag with a phrase and a couple of words that worked well with a travel themed layout. And then I'm just going to be adding some hearts, which I think gets cut off from the video turns off automatically at a certain period of time. So here are my close-ups. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed this layout, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you when I see you. Bye guys.